of what draws some people to it is because there's a dangerous element. There's, artists are often given the permission to be weird. And in a sense, there's an expectation that an artist should be a little weird for that reason, because we want people to be out there exploring some weird shit that nobody else could possibly think of, because it freshens life up, It's like if there was no art or drama or narratives or poetry or film in the world, like, what are we doing here, right? Like, we become lost in just menial day-to-day tasks. Art, in a sense, reminds us again about these deeper senses of our being and meaning and purpose and our connection to one another. And it's a deep rabbit hole.
And so then let's land back into Creative Codex here. So you mentioned that you are then studying these great figures, as you mentioned, to try and unpack, I suppose, what is the animating spirit of these people? Is it biologically driven, as you question at the start? And obviously you've covered a number of different figures throughout your program. You're covering it through this macro lens of Jung. Now, in particular, of the figures that you've covered, I guess, who has surprised you the most in terms of how they developed their own creative genius?
Sure. I mean, there's surprises, honestly, every single time I engage with any of these figures. There's many times where I'll engage with someone like Emily Dickinson, who was just kind of a ubiquitous figure of English literature that I heard about many, many times. Sorry. And it wasn't until I was like, okay, let me do this episode because I feel slightly obligated to cover somebody from literature. And then I start reading her poems, and I read ones that I've never heard of before. And I'm like, oh, okay. Wow, there's like a lot of stuff going on here with the metaphors and like metaphors within metaphors. And little by little, I start to just become completely enraptured by her work, and just this idea that the poems are a reflection of her mind itself, digesting reality in her own life. And so that was a big surprise. I basically ended up, by the end of that series, I ended up feeling like I was in a one-sided platonic love affair with Emily Dickinson. I'm still waiting for her to write back, but it was because I got so engaged by even her personal letters, and you get the sense that you have this connection with this individual just through her writing alone. You get this intimate sense of her mind and her way of thinking, and you fall in love with it. And so that's one of these figures as an example. Then there was someone